guys, it's me, Nicola Dickens with Free Mic here. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Whichever the case may be, I think I need to clean off my lens. Give me just a moment. I apologize. I feel like that looks a lot better. I don't look like I'm sitting in smog. You know how that goes. Let's get the feet up, make sure we are live. What the hell? Thank you. Sometimes, what the hell? It does not like to come up. It's a pain in the butt. So, hey guys, it's me, Nicola Dickens with Free Mic here. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel, whichever the case may be. Sorry about that. I'm getting like flustered because I can't get screw tube to work appropriately. And yes, I just called them screw tube. There we go. Alrighty. Whoopsie. Okay, sorry about that. I evidently wasn't completely ready. I apologize. I thought I was. So, but as you guys can see, I just got out of the shower. Nice and wonderful. This morning it was actually really nice outside. It was kind of strange, to be honest with you, because it was humid, but it was tolerable. It wasn't so hot. So I have to say, I rather enjoy that weather. Today we are going to be working on more flower. This is Tree Flip strain review. And again, this is the Twisted 14. I do like the container. It's a pretty container. But one of the things that I have noticed to be a problem, and I'll show you, is they don't always like to stay full. So they kind of goop out. It's really odd, but it happens. Let's see if I can get any of this in and we'll smoke this one. Okay. We're just going to do this one since it's already partially gone. So I really like these Twisted 14s. They come with, what is it? 14 pre-rolls in it. They're small pre-rolls, but they work if you're just doing, you know, one of us is smoking or something's going on, that, you know, everybody can have their own little joint. So let's light her up and see what she tastes like. One of these days I'll get that correct. One of these days I'll get everything ready to go all at one time. Okay. Let's go ladder up. Almost. It's thinking about it. Much better. So we are working with Tree Flip. She is a 20 to 25% THC rating, which is a good medium, but also remember that the THC level doesn't always dictate what the high is going to be. So that being said, this Tree Flip comes from Lemon Tree and Wedding Cake, both actually really good strains, to be honest with you. And we're going to throw a little bit of extra information at you today. Flower time for this particular strain is between 60 and 70 days. Her flavor is pine, citrus, earthy, and sweet. Medicinally, I did it again. How did I do it again? Creative, balanced, energized, moderate, difficult. She can be difficult to grow. These are the Twisted 14 straight cut pre-rolls, and that's important because if you go in thinking I want the cones, those are over an ounce, or over a gram, my bad. They are right about a gram. These are only 3/4 of a gram. So you're getting less of the cones. So I think you get like 8, but they're fuller than this. So it's right about the same for both. Ooh. Okay, so creativity. This one just has you just going. I have been moving around. I've been working on my cups. I got one of the snow globe tumbler cups ready to go, which I absolutely adore. I would show it to you, but it's upside down right now doing the bottom, and it's still wet. So I'll bring it on the show tomorrow and show you guys what it is that I'm working with. And then this is also my other fun tumbler that I did. This particular tumbler, however, has a speaker. So you can Bluetooth this to your phone, to wherever it is you want to listen, and then you have it with your cup of coffee. So you never lose your tunes and you never lose your coffee. So, and it has these cute little colors that go around. It is adorable. I absolutely love the cup. I was going to keep it for myself, but I've had so many people say, hey, are you going to sell it? So I might. If I do sell these cups will go for right around $50 a piece. And then this is what I'm working on, is another snow globe tumbler. So that will be fun. Okay, let's get into this. Well, it's fitting. The only thing I do hate about these, though, is because I have long nails, sometimes it's hard to do it. Okay. Exceptional strain combines the zesty energy flavors. She has a smooth THC punch for both novices and seasoned cultivators. Ideal for enhancing your inner muse. The breeder ACC is renowned for their commitment to quality and innovative, making them a trusted name in today's cannabis cultivator circles. The sensory experience not only delights the taste buds, but also enhances the overall enjoyment of this amazing strain. And it really is. It has a lot of really good flavors. This one, again, would be one of those strains that I would absolutely adore to see with terpenes, because I think that would bring out some good flavors. Even if all you're doing is adding the terpenes to what you already are smoking, to your flower or to your concentrate or whatever, those you can actually buy all of those, and they do have a little bit of THC in it, so it is regulated, which is great. If I want to order quality brand, if I want to order quality, oh, I just lost it. I'm a dumbass. I don't know why I do that every now and again. And I've done this for more than I've been high. So it's not high that's doing it. You know, you walk into a room and you're like, fuck, I was going to get something. Okay, I forgot. I apologize. Mid-sentence. I hate when that happens. It normally only happens when my husband and I are talking and we cut each other off. So I'll cut him off and he'll forget what he's trying to tell me. Or he'll cut me off and I forget what I'm trying to tell him. Anybody else relate? Good stuff. Okay, so medical marijuana. One thing we're going to go over today is the many uses of medical marijuana. And then we're going to go through many of the downfalls that also come with marijuana. I was going to do these through the month of June because June is Medical Cannabis Awareness Month, but it was also something else, and when I did try to put the show up, it got beaten down. So, because they don't want to share a month. So, we're going to do it now. So for medical marijuana, medical cannabis is most commonly used for chronic pain, especially nerve-related pain. reduces severe nausea and vomiting from chemo, and stimulates appetite in wasting conditions like HIV and AIDS. Or a microdeletion, that will also do that. And I'm sure you guys can see the parallel here. But yes, there's a lot of conditions that this can really work with. I'm keeping it with the HIV and AIDS simply because that is the strongest category. Also with nausea and cancer, that is also the, in my opinion, the other most important area. I don't advocate for people to stop the treatment through their doctor. I advocate for people to add this to their treatment. I personally, I said, no, I'm not doing it again. I've been through chemo and radiation 3 times. I'm not doing it again. It was horrible. I mean, horrible. If I could say it any louder, it was horrible. You don't want to eat, you can't sleep, you're throwing up, and you're constantly nauseous. When you finally do get comfortable, then you kind of dozing off, and then your stomach turns and you run to the bathroom, or you have a dream that just, and that's something that cannabis really helps with. It helps you sleep, it helps give you an appetite, it helps you keep your food in your body and not in the toilet. So I really think that this is something that we really need to start yelling about. So this will manage muscle spasms from conditions like multiple sclerosis or severe forms of epilepsy and Parkinson's. If you've ever been around a person that has either one of these conditions, your heart absolutely breaks. It is horrible to watch the patients with these conditions live. My mother-in-law had Parkinson's. She'd had Parkinson's since she was like 30 or something, and it was severe. She always shook, but a lot of times when she did, it was big motions. I didn't know at that time that cannabis would have helped her. I wish I would have known. And my husband and I are always like, we feel bad because this could have given her a little bit better of a life. But we didn't know, and that's why we created this particular channel, is because I have found that this drug, this flower, this plant, has way more medicinal effects than even I knew, to be honest. I was against cannabis. I didn't want anything to do with it. And then I learned. I got out of my own reefer madness craziness and decided to sit down and give it a shot. And I'm extremely happy I did. I wouldn't be here today without it. I was going into sepsis every other month. It was bad. So without it, there's no way. I wouldn't be here today. So I really advocate towards medical cannabis. I also advocate towards with making it legal across the board federally, as well as regulations, federal regulations that will blanket the cannabis industry throughout the country is what I would really like to see happen, and not through big pharma. This can manage muscle spasms from conditions like multiple sclerosis, severe forms of epilepsy, and Parkinson's. I just said that, sorry. Benefits for conditions like insomnia, anxiety, PTSD. Clinical evidence remains mixed as it's under further tests. There's going to be a lot of tests that we need to make with cannabis because we don't know as much about cannabis as what we should know, especially in medicine. It's been taken out of the history books, it's been taken off of everything, and now we need to figure it out and bring it back into the medicinal end of cannabis. And I'm always saying that cannabis, no matter why you're using it, whether it's recreational or medicinal, still has medicinal qualities for people that don't have severe anxieties or severe cancers or conditions. Maybe they're finding that they need to level out a little bit more so they're not having manic episodes, or they're not sleeping very well, or there's so many different things that cross over the two, because I know that when I'm really bad, I'll go buy some edibles Actually, I have to be honest with you. I have edibles in my house because I have to take 200 milligrams of edibles to go to sleep every night. That is one thing that they don't tell you about cancer treatment is the insomnia that comes with it. And the teeth, that rots your teeth out. It was so, I mean, I went through 3 full rounds, 3 full different times, and I have no teeth left. I had to have the last ones pulled. I do have dentures. The problem with that is when I put them in, it's like putting, the football guards in. It looks huge, and I can't get food or anything else, and I speak way worse with them in. I have to really kind of watch that. So, yeah, there's always going to be tests. It's always going to happen. You're always going to end up with people that are going to have problems with anything that they try because we're all different. We all react differently to different things, and that's a big deal. Oh, cup turned off. Guess I grabbed a cup. So as far as impairments goes, it distorts your sense of time and space while disrupting short-term memory loss. So that's probably, where everybody's going to say, that's why you can't remember what you're going to say. But I did that before cannabis. I think it started with the first cancer treatment that I kind of went through. So, because that was a big deal. You did have memory loss. You had all kinds of things. You couldn't, it's horrible. Cancer treatment is horrible. Today's medical cannabis is used to treat resistant symptoms and improve the quality of life. Neurological disorders help manage spasticity in multiple sclerosis and is highly effective in reducing seizures for severe treatment or resistant forms of epilepsy. So, you've heard all those wonderful things of, oh, she's possessed or whatever. No, she's just high, like Reefer Madness wants to say. So, no, I don't think so. You have these horrible things. I mean, I don't even know how to call it anymore. If you've never had a seizure, it is horrible when you get up from one. I've had one in my lifetime, and I don't ever want to have it again. And mine was actually caused by the cancer treatment. So it kind of threw me into it. I don't know what exactly happened, and they found it when I was in, they got it when I was in one of my sepsis moments. So it really kind of sucked, but when I started using this, things started to come back into play. It took me a while because I had to have my bladder removed, and that really fucking sucked. But, okay, let's get finished with this. Cancer side effects. It's widely used to relieve chemotherapy, induce nausea and vomiting, and stimulate appetite in patients suffering from wasting disease. Mental health and sleep helps manage insomnia, anxiety, and PTSD, as well as to cope with severe symptoms of terminal illness. The high THC mimics natural dopamine and releases to cause euphoria, deep relaxation, and or sleepiness. So the bad effects of cannabis. Yeah, you got to give both sides equal time. The bad effects of cannabis. Heart and lungs. Weed immediately elevates your heart rate and blood pressure. Experts say that it could interfere with blood vessel function and circulation. It is still being researched, so keep that in mind. Respiratory or smoking or vaping cannabis induces toxins and burning organic matter into your lungs, causing chronic cough, phlegm, and a higher risk of acute bronchitis. Anytime you're smoking it, you have to keep in mind that you are smoking carcinogens along with it. In the state of Arizona, carcinogens are not tested for. I hate that. We should be testing for carcinogens because carcinogens are what causes cancer. So why do we want our medicine to be laced with cancer or with poison, basically? So, yeah. Physical elevated appetite, which they call the munchies. Watch out, refrigerator, here we come, baby. But it does stimulate the desire of eating, and it helps keep the food down. So red eyes. Cannabis causes blood vessels to dilate, leading to increased blood flow and visibly red or bloodshot eyes. That kind of takes the stoner thing out of it, doesn't it? Risk of heavier long-term use. Cannabis use disorder. Frequent use can rewire the brain's reward system, making it addictive and leading to withdrawal symptoms. Upon quitting, nowhere near trying to quit alcohol. Okay, so what they're trying to say is that you're going to suffer when you're trying to stop using cannabis. I have never had that happen. I haven't even talked to anybody that's actually had that happen. So, however, I've known alcoholics that try to quit, and they start going through withdrawals, and we have to put them in the hospital because those will kill them. Cannabis isn't so much. Most of the problem that you're getting with cannabis, as far as these go, aren't the actual flower or the plant itself. It's what they're using, that growing medium. Are they using a good, organic, clean soil? Are they using organic feed, teas, and fertilizers, and those kinds of things? How are they doing it? Those are the things that go into your body and say, okay, yeah, now we're going to metastasize because we have this great lung or whatever. And it's nice and fluffy and bouncy, and it's great. And then it gets in there, and it turns gray, and it starts to harden. It gets into a beautiful shell. See? Beautiful, huh? So I don't see that with cannabis. I have never seen that with cannabis. But, you know, I have seen it from alcohol use. So cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, or CHS, chronic heavy use can occasionally cause a severe condition marked by intense cyclic nausea, vomiting. It's temporary. It does finally resolve itself. With this particular one, I have talked to people with it. I have helped people with this. One of the big things was they needed to find a strain that worked for them, and it wasn't giving them these issues, or they have, everything else going on. So that's kind of the thing. You want to change that weed if you need to. If it's happening to you in real time, I've always said keep some CBD close by, so that way when you get to that point and you need it to stop, you can take that CBD in whatever form, smoke it, eat it, whatever, and it'll calm that euphoria down to where you're not as freaked out or not wanting to vomit as much. Remember, whatever you're doing, do it safely. Microdosing is the best policy, and that's one of those things that I like to talk to people about. I've been using cannabis in one form or another for 10 years, and I've used it heavy, and I've used it super light. And I've noticed that if I can get right in the middle of that and then just kind of microdose a little bit here, a little bit there, instead of big things right now, I have noticed that does help a lot better. Yeah. If you're having a problem, always make sure you contact a medical professional. Make sure you are safe at any time. And keep in mind that nobody has died from cannabis. Nobody. Nobody. The only way that cannabis could actually hurt you is if there's something in it that should not be in it. You're allergic to something in it. You have to stay away from those carcinogens. It's the big deal. And the only way for us to get the regulations of what we need is for the federal government to come in and say, okay, we've already acknowledged by rescheduling cannabis that there are medicinal benefits to cannabis. So now we have to talk about it. Now we have to get to it. Because if we don't, the prohibitionist will. And prohibition has never worked. I heard a woman's story today. Her son committed suicide after using cannabis. I don't know if it was his first time or his 700th time, I'm not sure. And I will never side with a drug over a human life, ever. But my problem here is you want to fight and prohibit cannabis because your son died. And I am so sorry. I am. I don't know what I would do if my son took his life. I am very sorry. But prohibition doesn't work. What prohibition actually does is it makes the system not work. And the reason why is because the minute it's prohibited, that's when you want it. That's when everybody's like, oh, I gotta have it. We're not allowed to have it. Gotta have it. And so you get a lot more uses. Now, with prohibition, you have to find a way of getting a hold of that medication or of that drug. If you don't get a hold of it, you can't do anything with it. But if you can, and it helps, we need to take those treatments and show how different they are. Whether they're different because they're cannabis or whether they're different because they're chemo, kind of put them together and see if people start feeling better. Because I can guarantee you that you will. I used cannabis, RSO oil. I took 100 grams of RSO oil and I ate it. I ate those 100 grams in 30 days. I think it was actually 28 days, but in 30 days, because that's what Rick Simpson told me to do. So I did it. And very soon thereafter, I ended up having to go in for a DNC, and they were taking care of a few things, and they're like, I see a little white scar where the cancer was in your blood. There isn't anything there. And I'm like, huh? So I started reading the lab reports, and he's right. There was nothing there. And I didn't do chemo. I didn't do radiation. I didn't do none of that. I wasn't doing it again. I did cannabis. And it worked. It helped. The first thing I really noticed with it was sleep. I had the best sleep of my life. And so is the few bad effects that we get from cannabis, is that the hill we want to die on because somebody died. And I'm not trying to make light of the scenario, but I do want to say that most of these people, and I do believe she was one of them, I think I found that on her feed, that thoroughly believed in the COVID vaccination. Thoroughly. And now we're finding out that it didn't work. It actually made people sicker. So that's what we have to start looking at is, okay, are they telling us the truth? Are they lying to us? Are they changing? What's going on? Why does all of this have to go through? Why do they not want cannabis so bad? Well, I think for the mom, I think it's fear. Cannabis can be scary. I guess her son was a dabber. That's what this rig goes on. This is my dabbing rig. You guys have seen me use it a million times because this is my rig that I use on a daily basis. Okay? But here, let's do it. Let's do this. I said it was, now we're doing it. Let me show you some stuff. You guys are gonna love this. Okay. Where you're plugged in. So what I have here is a high-powered microscope. work. Again. There we go. Okay. We have our beautiful little light somewhere. Now I gotta remember the lights at. I know you can turn it down, because I was playing with it yesterday. Okay. Okie dokie. I remember I turned something and it turned them off. It turned them down. Well, let's see if we can do this way. So, I went and got some flour. Hopefully there's enough light. So I got a little bit of flour here. I'm probably going to have to do a flashlight or something. So here is our beautiful sticky flour. So all of these little whites are those trichomes. These little bad boys are what you get hash out of and when you're using. Also, with these, it is vegan to eat them. That's what it's called. Right. I had one. Oh, I think I found it. I did. So that's what it looks like to really get in close on this. Okay. So when I'm looking at cannabis to say there's nothing in it that's bad, like sand, glass, rock, any of these things, I'm going to look for little weird anomalies that are a different color, that are not round. That had some seriously good flavor. So what you do is you put it under this. You're going to move it around a bit. You're going to kind of look at it and see what you can find. There we go. Look at her. So there's some sticky for you. And that's what I look at. So I kind of go through all of these. I bought this as a half ounce. a while back, and I paid $47 for it. It's not bad. This one is pineapple chunk, which is a sativa. Well, it's a hybrid sativa. But yeah, that's what I look for. That's what I put on here. And you can do that with more than just your flower. Not working today. And there's the concentrate. So I have the story for you, and then we're gonna dab and get the hell out of here. So I need some advice. I have a neighbor who works here, who works not in my trailer, but we live in an RV resort. We've lived here for 3 years. We were in one spot for 3 years, and we've been in this spot now for 6 months, I guess. Well, the guy that moved into our old spot works for the park, and a couple of my packages were delivered at his trailer. So he picked them up, took them in his house, and left them there. He didn't open them, but he left them there. I didn't know what to do with it. Maybe take it to the office? And I will say, the one encounter that I had with him the first time, I got mad because he's like, I didn't know what to do with it. Take it to the office, asshole. And that's what I said, because I'm like, common sense here, because it is a crime, a felony, to go after somebody's mail. So that left. A couple weeks later, I had a package say that it was delivered. The lady that works here, she's like, I know I saw that because it came out of Sam's Club. Gone. I've never gotten it. I also haven't contacted Sam's Club yet, so I'm gonna have to do that. But gone. Nothing. And then yesterday, I went down in the morning because my coffee was delivered. And as you guys know, I drink the mushroom coffee, and I was out, completely out, and sadly, I went and I bought some Starbucks coffee. I'm like, oh, it'll work for a day or two. When you get done drinking this, it doesn't taste like fucking regular coffee at all. It is so much better, and I couldn't believe the difference in the two. So I went back up to the office, and the guy that was there, the maintenance guy, the head guy, he's like, I don't know, but I'll go look for it. I said, okay, well, it was delivered yesterday. I just need my coffee. I get cranky without my coffee. It was really, really nice. He's like, if I find it, I'll knock on your door, da-da-da-da. Cool. About 15, 20 minutes later, I have at my door. I'm like, okay. And I open the door, and it's the head guy, the big guy, and he handed me my package. And I'm like, was it there? Did he take it again? I said, okay. Well, I have a problem with this because when I went to get the mail yesterday morning, it said I had a package in my box. I had a package delivered and it was in my box. When Ed pulled the package thing out and went to go get the package out of my box, there wasn't anything. It was gone. I'm like, okay. Well, he said he was going to help me out. That's great. We found the freaking package. So now I'm like, okay, did he take the package from the office to his place? What the hell? And if he's doing that to me, what's he doing to other people? And so I'm like, I don't know what to do. I went into the office yesterday after I got the package to get my mail, because my mail had come in, and he was in there. And he didn't speak one word to me. Nothing. I'm like, thank you, and I left. Because I know what's going to happen. I know what he's going to pull. So, my question to you guys, please help me out. What do I do? How do I fix this? Because I don't know what to do. So, I will say that I think there's something wrong with him up there. And I only say that because of some of the weird stuff he does. He really reminds me of somebody with Asperger's, which isn't anything bad. They can live a very normal life. They're great. I have several friends that have kids with it. I have a grandchild with it. So Asperger's isn't a hard thing. But I don't know. I don't know if this guy has like a head injury or something, because he doesn't follow the rules. I've heard Ed gets so mad at him because he puts other people's mail in different places because he can't seem to get it straight. Then he decided he was going to spray paint the washer and dryers up there with spray paint so that way he could tell which key went to what. And at first I was like, that's weird. You know, each one has its own key? No. Mm-mm. There's 2 keys. 2. They either use one key to open them up or the other. He decided he was done trying to figure out which 2 and took it upon himself to spray paint the washers and dryers. I'm like, what the hell? So I don't know what to do. I'm irritated because I'm like, oh, okay, I have several packages that I'm still waiting for, and I need them to do what I do. So I don't know what to do with this guy. I don't know if I should just finally put my foot down and say him or me. I don't know. My husband's like, yeah, let me catch him. I'm like, yeah, we don't need to do that. But yeah, I don't know what to do. And I've never been in a position like this. Normally, when somebody's caught stealing, yeah, they either quit to get away from it, or they do everything they can to say, I'm not stealing, and try to prove it, which is awesome. I prefer them to be able to do that. I have done that in the past. I mean, I did. Give me a moment. What would you guys do? I don't know what to do. And he's not a people person at all. But I checked the package. The package had my spot on this spot on it. On the last package. I don't know what to do. I don't want to be mean, but I kind of order things because I want them or need them, not because I want to give them to somebody else. You know? So that's dabbing. So, you know, my heart goes out to this mother. It really does. However, he was an adult. He wasn't a child. And who knows? Cannabis, when cannabis hits your anxieties, it will calm them down or it will set them off. It's one or the other. It doesn't go between. So, if he was a regular user of cannabis, I'm going to assume he either got bad cannabis or he did something else, because cannabis doesn't kill anybody. I mean, unless these prohibitionist groups are just trying to make money on the fact that they don't like cannabis. I mean, that's really the only thing I can kind of think of. What do you guys think? Do you think they're doing this because they know something we don't? Or do you think they're doing this because they are prejudiced of weed? I mean, you want to kick something off the market? What about alcohol? You know how many people alcohol kill every year? Let's find how many people does alcohol kill every year. to die on alcohol. Each year. Okay, so every year, 2.6 million deaths with alcohol. Million. Weed, I'm only seeing hers, and it wasn't just weed. There's no way it was just weed. Or it was so packed with carcinogens and crap that it did this. So, yeah, 2.6 million deaths with alcohol. I'm not even going to go to the 55,000 deaths a year of car accidents or big pharma. Oh, let's talk about vaccine stuffs. I mean, come on. You gotta, we've got to even this out. People need to know the truth. They need to know that they can use this plant and it can help them. Way more than what sometimes big pharma can. And it's worth giving it a shot. If it's all you got left, what's the problem? Why not? And that's kind of where I went out when I was first going through this. Why not? I can do this. Everybody else does this. I can do this. I can win this fight. But it took a while for me to believe that. I slept for 2 fucking weeks. 2 weeks. After that, I woke up and I felt so good. I knew I had a chance because I could feel it. And that was within 2 weeks. Let me tell you what happens when you do chemo, radiation. It takes a lot longer than 2 weeks to recover. I'm sorry. I wish I could say it another way. But, yeah, there's things about cannabis people don't like. People do things with cannabis that's probably retarded. Okay? But we have to look at the medicinal properties. It's helping people. It is. It's keeping people alive from cancer or wasting diseases or horrible conditions like Parkinson's or epilepsy. You got to weigh the good with the bad. Nothing personal. I think you're on the wrong side. Just saying. But that is it for today. Mwah! I love as always. Come on. I put Tigger's little thing here. He has a little teddy bear thing, and I put it here thinking, oh, okay, maybe he'll lay on it for me. Come on. You know I'm going to say bye today? You're too tired? Okay. So, he doesn't want to. He wants a nap. But, mad love, guys. Mwah, and I'll see you in the next video. Why are you coming on? Come on. You're so silly. So silly. Bye, guys.